Sandeep, this very clearly perhaps is the strongest possible response so far to Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror.
Absolutely, Gaurav. Like I was saying earlier, a red line has been crossed by Pakistan in Pahalgam when they massacred those 26 Indian tourists, 25 Indian tourists and one Nepalese national. And today, what we are seeing in the last 48 hours is the unprecedented retaliation that India has unleashed on Pakistan for 25 years of state-sponsored terrorism, Gaurav. This was not a one-off. It was not just about Pahalgam. It was not just about Pulwama. It was about all of the targets that the Pakistan deep state, the Pakistan army has attacked from Mumbai to Delhi to Jaipur, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Ayodhya, all across the country. This is retribution for all of those terror attacks.
What a significant point you made.
This is aversion therapy, Gaurav. The problem, as you mentioned earlier, the Pakistan army is addicted to the use of terrorism. It is addicted to the use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy. I see all of this that we are doing in the last 48 hours as de-addiction. We are trying to tell them that get off this addiction to terrorism as an instrument of state policy. It is not.
If you were to look at, Sandeep, before I bring Akshita into this conversation, if you were to think like Asim Munir, he's been hit on all sides. If he's lost an F-16, if he's lost 2 JF-17s, if he's lost an AWACS, if Karachi is in the line of fire, if Baluchistan is burning, if Khyber Pakhtunkhwa there's an attack, all of this put together, would he now back off or would he even now want to escalate further?
Well, Gaurav, clearly Asim Munir has bitten off more than he can chew. He's been painted into a corner and all of that is his own doing. If he had not begun this path that he set out on the 16th of April, Gaurav, you remember that speech where he gave, where he said that two-nation theory and the Hindu-Muslim and the hard state that he wanted to convert Pakistan into, this is all Asim Munir is doing. 6 days later, that massacre in Pahalgam, and today, in the last 48 hours, we have seen unimaginable retribution from the state of India onto Asim Munir and the Pakistan army in a way that Pakistan possibly did not anticipate, did not war game, did not expect. And today they're paying for the price. They're paying the price for not having anticipated this level of escalation, Gaurav.
Oh, absolutely, Sandeep.
And Gaurav, Sandeep, we've got breaking news that's coming in. More details really of the counter-strike on Pakistan currently with India targeting Lahore. Our Navy reports suggest have also attacked Karachi and this is right after Pakistan attempted to rain missiles and drones on India. We understand that now the counter-strikes are underway, details of which is still trickling in. We are only going by verified reports that's coming in on the manner, the nature of the strike, the counter by India. But what we can tell you is that Lahore has been targeted. We understand that the Navy has also been pressed in here, attacking Karachi. Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, will be meeting with the Chief of Defence Staff as well as the 3 service chiefs later today. There's a possibility of a briefing in the morning on the developments that have happened through the night, and there have been a whole lot of those. The Ministry of Defence has already issued a detailed statement on the strikes, or the attempted strikes rather, by Pakistan when they fired and essentially sent across a barrage of missiles and drones, all of which, by the way, was repelled, was thwarted. It did lead to a bit of a scare for locals who live along the border areas, but they had absolutely nothing to be afraid of. As the Ministry of Defence said, this whole exercise of Pakistan's lasted essentially for just about 35 minutes. And then all of their attacks, their drones, missiles were repelled, leading to now a counter-strike by India. Now, the details that are emerging, and these are pictures right now on your screens from a few hours ago, from when there was a blackout in all of the border towns, the cities, the villages, as you saw those explosions taking place in the sky. All of those were missiles, drones that were being intercepted as well. I'll just get you a quick update of what's happening on the ground right now. Asim Bassi is joining us live right now. Asim, what's the situation currently? I know that, while we saw about 30 minutes of these explosions taking place in the sky, since then, it's been a quiet night. It's been a peaceful night.
We have seen a totally blackout in Amritsar, and we are in a border district. And after the Pakistan's misadventure was neutralized in the regions of Jammu and Pathankot and Jalandhar, and then India launching a massive counterattack against Pakistan, there's a complete pitch dark in the border district of Amritsar. The schools are closed for the next 3 days. The airport is closed. The airport lights are switched off, and totally we've seen that the security has been tightened, be it inside the city or on the borders. And definitely India giving a very, very buffeting reply to the Pakistan's misadventure. But the troops are keeping a guard very, very high. And this border region, which is very sensitive because of its strategic location, because Punjab shares a 553-kilometer long border with Pakistan. So be it Jalandhar, be it Bathinda, be it Ludhiana or Amritsar, every city of Punjab is on a high vigil.
Okay, all right, Asim, thanks for that update. Just a quick news break also coming in right now. India and Pakistan have issued multiple notifications currently for simultaneous naval firing exercises across various zones in the Arabian Sea. India has, in fact, put out the dates of 8th to 13th May, Pakistan 9th to 12th May. And Sandeep Unithan is with me here in the studio for a marathon coverage of what's really happening right now. Sandeep, how do you read into these notifications for naval firing exercises? Do you see now what we're seeing between India and Pakistan now moving to the seas as well, with reports suggesting that the Navy has already kicked into action attacking Karachi?
Well, how I see these NOTAMs that have been issued over for missile firing is possibly, putting out some level of uncertainty over there. While the Pakistan military has been looking over their eastern borders with India, the naval exercises, the naval missile firing drills in the south are meant to take their attention away and possibly open up a new dimension over the maritime space. And this is an area where Pakistan is really, really deficient, Akshita. The fact that they have a navy that is possibly 1/5 or 1/6 the size of India. We are heavily overmatched over there, whether it's in terms of submarines or fighter aircraft, naval fighter aircraft, and of course warships. There is a huge overmatch that India has over Pakistan in the naval arena, and this is something that Pakistan is acutely aware of. Asim Munir called Kashmir Pakistan's jugular. Actually, the jugular is far south in the North Arabian Sea, because as we demonstrated in the 1971 war, when that jugular was struck, Pakistan's navy was destroyed when it was out at sea. Its ships were bottled up in harbor. There were no merchant ships that could enter or leave without the Indian Navy knowing about it. They had to seek permission from the Indian Navy because they had enforced a maritime blockade. And this is something that India has usually signaled in the past as well, with the Kargil War of 1999, and of course later in Op Parakram, when naval fleets were used not to blockade but to signal the intent, signal resolve by the sheer presence of the Indian Navy in the North Arabian Sea. That is meant to inject a certain amount of uncertainty in the mind of Pakistan's military planners, that the fact that there could be naval options exercised as well. They could, the missiles that are being test fired could well turn in the other direction and head towards Pakistan if it chooses to escalate right now, 48 hours after India's unprecedented Operation Sindoor, Akshita.
It's been a long few nights, essentially, with these kind of strikes and then counter-strikes. And let's be very, very clear that every step has been initiated by Pakistan. And this has been India then countering and sending across a very clear message that we simply won't take it. We won't have Pakistan attacking us, or attempting to attack us, rather. and us letting them get away with it or let it just slip away. So we've been sending across a very clear message on that, which is why right after the Pakistan drone and missile strikes, which completely failed, which lasted about 35 minutes, right after you had India with the counter-strike as well, firing at Lahore, which has been hugely compromised because of last night's strikes. And you'd think that, you know, seeing that the Pakistan army's already been compromised in Lahore, they wouldn't have gone ahead with these strikes tonight, which is why a lot of experts who've been joining us on this marathon coverage have also been opining that this is the Pakistan army with zero strategy, just going ahead and doing whatever it takes to target India. And that's why India, being at its highest level of alertness right now, has been able to repel every single one of these attacks. So who knows, the Pakistan army, despite knowing that, you know, its naval fleet is nothing when compared to India, could just go ahead and unleash there too, in which case you're going to be inviting the wrath of the Indian Navy as well. Reports, though, do suggest that already we are seeing some action in Karachi taking place. The Indian Navy, we're being told, has struck Karachi, but what kind of strikes, what kind of damage, we don't have those details just yet for you. We're still working on getting those confirmations, and we'll also wait for the government's communication on the same. The government is putting out constantly details of the operation that's underway, as much as can be revealed, of course, at this stage. But also what you hear a lot about murmurs, Sandeep, from Pakistan is that, look, there is a lot of anger against the Pakistan army, which has been known for the last many months, years, has been building up. But add to it now these unsuccessful strikes and the fact that they've been unable to repel even one of India's strikes versus we've repelled all of theirs. It's bound to also lead to all of these anger against the Pakistan army boil over.
Yeah, absolutely, Akshita. And as you mentioned earlier, what is the strategy here? Well, there's no strategy. The Pakistan army has not had a strategy because it never thinks strategically. It is a tactical military. It has been a tactical military for nearly 80 years. It jumps into conflicts. It creates these conflicts. It throws the first punches, but it never ends well for them. Whether you look at 1947, 48, or 1965, 1971, 1999, and now, as we've seen in the past few years, 2016, Uri, the attack that invited surgical strikes from India, 2019, Pulwama, we struck Balakot, the first time since 1971, and then Pahalgam in April 2025, which saw India cross a line that had not been crossed since 1971, striking at targets in the heartland of Pakistan, that is its Punjab province, from where it recruits nearly 70% of the Pakistan military is recruited from Punjab province. And we have struck by day and at night, literally round-the-clock attacks on Punjab province. And we've also struck at Bahawalpur. We've struck at as far north as Rawalpindi. That's the headquarters of the Pakistan military. There is important signaling over there that we can strike you at a time and place of our choosing. No place in Pakistan is safe. And I think this is the kind of messaging that India has been repeatedly conveying over the last 48 hours through its series of strikes, climbing the escalation ladder. And at each level, it is important to note, Akshita, that the spokesperson, the Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri, has always left room for de-escalation. The fact is that the Pakistan military chose not to take that road, and they have continued to escalate.
No, very true. And you had the Foreign Secretary, even in the afternoon, when he gave out that briefing and spoke about Pakistan's role in harboring terror, said very clearly that the nature of our strikes has been non-escalatory. So even if this is going up on the escalation ladder, it's solely because of Pakistan resorting to strike after strike, or rather attempting to strike India, and therefore India responding to those. So non-escalatory is a key word here that India has repeatedly used for what's happening with Pakistan. Let's also just focus quickly on what's happening in New Delhi. Maushami Singh is joining us live. We've been seeing Maushmi, round the clock, meetings taking place, the government very closely tracking the updates of what's really happening along the borders and India's counter-strike currently. There is some news coming in that we're going to be seeing Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, meet with the CDS, meet with the three service chiefs. There's a possibility of a 9 a.m. briefing as well, if you could get us those details.
Akshita, I can tell you one thing, that it's going to be a night of hectic discussions and meetings. And clearly, you know, India has, in the last two press conferences, clearly stated that it is India that is responding to the dastardly terror attack in Pahalgam. It is not Pakistan that is actually responding. And right from the start, India has reiterated that this was a non-escalatory, very calculated measure that India had actually taken action, the action that India took. And clearly, if you see the way Pakistan has reacted and the way Pakistan has dared to indulge in misadventure, that is going to cost Pakistan very, very dearly. It's going to be a very gruesome night for Pakistan because remember, the Foreign Secretary said that we are not going to indulge in any escalation. We've not targeted military establishments. We've not targeted civilian installations and outlets. But if Pakistan continues to indulge in misadventure, then we have the right to respond. And that's why, you know, India has been sending a loud and clear message, briefings after briefings, and in the morning at 9 a.m. perhaps India would put out all the evidences how Pakistan has been lying through its teeth.
Okay, so at 9 a.m. is when we'll be watching out for that briefing by the Ministry of External Affairs, by the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, on what's transpired through the night. We've seen this yesterday as well, the day before with Operation Sindoor, and again tonight, an attempt by Pakistan. I'll just bring in Ashutosh Mishra also for those details. Our reporters travelling from different parts along the LOC, along the IB to get you ground reports of what's the situation currently. It's all quiet now. About 35 minutes is when Pakistan attempted to strike. After that, right now, we've ensured that Pakistan has failed completely. And so these entire areas completely secure. There's no reason for civilians to be concerned or worried right now. But Ashutosh, any details really that are emerging on the counter-strike by India, which also kicked off almost right after Pakistan attempted to hit our civilian areas?
Well, damage assessment could only be known by the morning because all these reports need to come, of course, from the Pakistan side. And as this morning we heard in the afternoon by DG ISPR talking about the kind of damage, and then we see the images that how potentially we targeted their military institution, their the air defense system, the radars, the walks, and even during this fight. And as we speak, most of these sectors at the line of control in Jammu region particularly are absolutely calm now. It was all the drama for around 2 hours that Pakistan tried to unleash to destroy the institution, to destroy the military establishment. But the apparatus were so active that we neutralized all of their attack, including arresting one intruder from in the Samba sector from the line of control that he tried to infiltrate, then neutralizing drones in Naushera sector exactly at the same time. So everything, all the measures were already taken. All these preventive measures helped us, and the strategic deployment of the assets, including the defensive assets and the offensive assets, have worked. And that's also, the showcasing the power of the India's preparedness to deal with any challenges in and out. Of course, the kind of retaliation, the kind of response that India is giving back to Pakistan will only be known by first light of the morning. Akshita.
Very true, and hopefully we will be able to get in more details also in the coming hours on the nature of strike by India right now. But we'll hit as hard as Pakistan comes at us, and that's very clearly the message that's coming repeatedly from the government. Pakistan, however, still hasn't learnt its lesson going forward with these kind of strikes that make no sense, essentially, because there's no strategy involved. They're firing essentially from all corners, raining missiles, drones without any strategy, and repeatedly it gets dismissed, quelled and repelled by our forces.